Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Kevin Demonstrates Life. It's been a little while since I put a video up, been very busy, but I was interested in sharing with you one of my favorite hobbies, and that is brewing beer. It's a Saturday morning, and we're already about an hour and 15 minutes into the process. What we've done so far is we've taken crushed grain and soaked it in hot water. Why are we doing that? Because that's going to actually produce the sugars that we will run off into a boil pot with additional hot water, and then we'll add, during that boiling process, some hops and some other ingredients to make beer. So I'll show you a couple of different things as we go through the rest of the process of brewing beer. So that's the grain. We're basically, you can't really see it too well, but we're actually running more hot water into the grain bed. And then what we're doing is, let's zoom out here, it's running through all the way to the bottom and then out into the boil pot. And when we get about 7 1/4 gallons, there's 8, the 8 mark right there. 7 1/4 gallons, we'll go ahead and, by that point we'll probably just be starting our boil, and we'll put our first hop drop in. So we did just under 7 gallons of wort, which is the sweet water from soaking hot grains, and right now we are just about a couple of minutes into the boil. I've already added about 3/4 ounces of hops. We'll do another hop drop at 30 minutes. Meanwhile, it's just going to boil away. Okay, so now we are 1 hour into the boil, and we are now cooling. Basically, what's happening is we have the copper piping running cold water through a closed system, or mostly closed system. You can see the drip there into the bucket, but that's not a problem. And it's basically drawn heat out of the wort. We need to get this down to about 70 degrees. And then we can transfer into the primary container where the beer will ferment. So it dawns on me that I didn't describe to you what beer it was that we're brewing today. This is a recipe that I picked up on Amazon at a really good price. It's an all grain IPA called Sea Archer IPA. It has a final alcohol by volume of 6% and an IBU of 45, which makes it on the less hoppy side of IPAs, but I think it's going to turn out really well. The process has gone flawlessly so far. As I showed you, we're cooling the wort right now. By the way, the water that's running through the wort chiller is being put out on the lawn by Christine, who's running around the house. That's all you can pull, Christine. She's using the hose to water various parts of the plant life here at our house, so that all the water is reused and not sent down the gutter into the sewer. So yeah, so everything's going pretty good, and I'll bring you back in when I am transferring to the primary container. We're transferring into the container. I'm going to zoom in, you can see see that hop hops collecting in there. I have basically a strainer that I'm running through to keep the hops and the other material, a little bit of the grain, the Werflock. Werflock is a form of algae that's used to cause the solids in the beer to separate from the liquid, which is great. Makes it easier to achieve a cleaner beer. See, it's kind of a greenish brown color right now. After fermentation takes place, it will turn into more of a golden color. I think the greenish color is because of the hops that are storing it. Hops are green. Right, Christine?
Right.
My lovely camera person and assistant brewer. Say hi, Christine.
Hi, Christine.
Alright, so I have added the dry yeast. You can see, I think if you look really closely there, kind of sitting on the top there. And I got to stir this in really well. This not only does it mix in the yeast with the liquid, the wort, you also have to aerate the liquid so that it has plenty of oxygen to begin the process of converting to CO2, which leaves the byproduct of, do you know what it is, kids? Alcohol. Right. I think that's good. So now we put the lid on. First we spray it with a little bit of sanitizer. Make sure it's clean. Put on. This is the device that keeps it sealed. So air can come out, CO2, but no air can get in. Just clamp it down. And we have beer in its wort state, ready for fermentation. So basically I needed to measure what's called the original gravity on the beer. The original gravity relates to how much unprocessed sugar is actually in the wort right now. What's going to happen is the number, which is, you can barely see it, but it's actually 0.60. You can see the 50 there, you can see that we're under that. That's exactly what I needed to hit, was 0.059, 1.059 on the original gravity. I hit that dead on, and what will happen is that that number is going to actually reduce down to between 1.012 and 1.014 as the sugars are processed by the yeast into alcohol. Interesting, huh? So the beer, or I should say the wort, which will become beer in about 2.5 weeks, is now resting comfortably inside my keezer. That's a keg freezer. Kegerator would be another term for it. It's sitting down inside here in the container, a plastic container that is sealed on one end, but it'll allow the escaping CO2. And in about a week and maybe a day or two, the fermentation process will be pretty much done. I'll add what's called a dry hop, which are additional hops for aroma that will bring the nose of the beer, of the IPA, make that a little bit more noticeable. So I hope that you enjoyed this little Kevin Demonstrates Life on brewing beer, and I'm obviously looking forward to the very next one. Bye-bye.